Okay, so this video is for Andrea Kim. I'm pretty sure a lot of you, though, will be able to take something from this video and apply it to your children's life. So those of you who have Pisces children and are looking for insight and tips that can, help you with the parenting of your Pisces child, I got you with this video right here. So I got some notes for this. Just gonna glance at them. I pretty much know what I'm trying to say, but I kind of got it in like an order so that it's not all over the place. Find their north node when you look at their natal charts. This will help you and give you a head start in their life because you'll know where they're heading. So sometimes you can hear about how some parents they are too involved in their kids' life to the point where they either smother them or they push them too hard or they push them in the wrong direction. And it's not until the child realizes it later on in life and they're like, let me go, mom, or I do it on my own, dad, or whatever the case may be, that it's just like, okay, this person is their own person. You know what I'm saying? Now sometimes these things are seen in the parent's natal chart. You understand what I'm saying? Like a Mars in the fifth house, for example, push your child too hard, too far. You know what I mean? You may also have grew up in a single parent household or whatever the case may be too. So that may be an indicator of why you push your child so hard. But it does not mean that that's good for your child. Now, just this is an example, right? But when you look at the North Node inside of your child's chart, it'll give you a head start because you'll get the inside scoop on where your child is heading before they even reach of age. You know what I mean? Sure, there's going to be a learning process, there's going to be a developing process that happens along the way, but you can already get an inclination of what it is that this oh wow, look at this green bug. I'm not even going to flip on try to kill it or whatever the case may be. It's little too. But I've never seen it before. It's some strange looking shit. But um here nor there, right? It probably means something, right? It gotta mean something to a Pisces and shit. But yeah, that will give you a head start onto where your Pisces child is heading in life. And it can also show significance when you look at where their what sign their north node is in. Look at that sign inside of your natal chart as a parent and see what house it's in, because the house it's in is going to have some type of significance. You can make a connection there. You'll know more than I know, but if you was to tell me like, okay, it's in the sixth house, or okay, it's in the eighth house, or okay, it's in the 10th house, then I can give you some insight into what that means. You know what I mean? But if you already know astrology, you already know how to read into those things, you'll know what it means, especially from your history as an individual, plus your growth with your child up to that point. Now, I also say watch out for the south node. Watch out for the south node of the parent, either you or their father. And the reason why I say this is because the south node being in the fifth house has a tendency to abandon children. And this is something I found interesting when researching this for someone. I investigated this, and it was even a situation to where a father tried to be in this in his children's life, right? And he went above and beyond measures and everything to be a part of these children's life, but he was just denounced every time. Not only that, he was ridiculed in the process, he was scrutinized, and he was looked at as a terrible man. Just leave the father part of the equation, just looked at as a terrible man because he was framed to be this individual who was bitter over the breakup of the child's mother, him and the child's mother, and trying to ruin or destroy the new relationship. Now, mind you, this guy, this father, had his own new relationship, his own new job, well-paying job, new home, everything. Like, there was no factors that was there that indicated that this father wanted to abandon that child or those children. But what happened was, I guess you can call it the powers that be, right? made sure that it was framed in a way that suggests exactly what astrology says, exactly what I learned in astrology, that look, South Node in the fifth house will have you abandon, or at least make it look like you've abandoned your children. And there's really not much of anything you can do about it. As I said, this father tried to do everything for long periods of times, and it just, everything went against him. He failed every time. So just keep that in mind. And I believe that is significant until the child at least reaches adulthood. So keep that in mind. But apart from that, right, your Pisces child is pretty safe inside of the third house. So what I mean by that is, and this goes really for any child, but this is definitely important to the Pisces child, because in the first 7-10 years of a child's life, they absorb the information and they're impacted by it heavily, right? Because they're fresh into the world. It's where, that soft spot is its softest. It receives the information is very new. These memories stay for a lifetime. So a lot of the times you'll see your child result to things that they learned very early in life as a way to survive. So schools, investigating teachers and stuff like that is a good thing to do for a Pisces child, even more because of the ability for them to be gullible and susceptible to what it is they learn and how they learn. So what you'll find is that your Pisces child will be very into learning. You know what I mean? They will even give a lot of favor to their teachers, to their instructors. You got to understand, because this is done in such a way, if they're not homeschooled or whatever by you, then this adds on to the level of being gullible when they grow older, because they're going to be looking to those types of teachers and those types of instructors to guide them on their way. You get what I'm saying? So if these people are wicked and have no, they just want to I'm not going to say take advantage, but they don't want to give what is fair or what is owed to that Pisces child. This can be very traumatic to the Pisces child. This can cause the Pisces child to close up, to escape, turn to drugs, turn to whatever types of activities that may, just put them on the wrong path, because they're going to feel that education failed them. Not that they failed education, but they're going to feel that education failed them. So it's important. Those things are important because the psychic sponge effect of a Pisces is going to absorb all of that information. They're going to be into it. Now, this also means that whatever it is that they're learning during that stage in life, it's important to encourage them to keep on going. Like, if your Pisces child is looking to be skipped or something like that because they're that brilliant, just do it for them. You know what I'm saying? Get them there. Don't worry about them, leaving their friends in class or something like that, whatever the case may be. Keep them going. And the reason why I say this is because Pisces children are going to gravitate towards the fifth house and everything that the fifth house is about somewhere in their lifetime. And a lot of the times it's when they're younger, when they are a child. So the reason why I'm saying this is because, not that the fifth house is evil or it's terrible, it's just that a Pisces child may disregard the third house altogether to learn in the fifth house, because the fifth house is a learning house too, but they may just go totally fifth house on you and say, forget the third house. The third house, that was child's play. That was nothing. Fifth house is about fun. This is heart intelligence. We're learning on a day-to-day, on an everyday. We're having fun. They're going to be very attracted to fun. They're going to be attracted to the arts, entertainment, and stuff like that, because it's their natural disposition to frame, or should I say, set the stage for those types of sectors and industries. However, it does not necessarily mean that they're always supposed to be the major component. So if they don't learn what they need to learn, what I'm saying, for the entertainment industry, for the arts, they can also experience something that is traumatic to them later in life when they have the incorrect instructors guiding them along that path. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like, just because they're so gravitated towards and involved and love and have fun doing the arts, they would need some type of business sense as well, because Neptune is a factor inside of this industry. You know what I mean? Neptune is really the of what the entertainment industry embodies, but Pisces children get more engulfed inside of the limelight of it, center stage of it, you know? So instead of them naturally or gravitating more towards their essence of their natural ability to see both sides of it, how it's a stage, it's an act, they can be totally involved into it to where they don't draw the line in between the two or can't even see it. You know what I mean? So the Neptune effect actually blinds them from and prevents them from doing that. And they just get egotistical, as the fifth house suggests. You understand what I'm saying? So that's something to be careful about. Okay, I said that they will be attracted to Leo traits. And they may not even know why. This may be something subconscious too. Like when they're attracted to the limelight and the arts and stuff like that, they might sneak in there or be sneaky about just slide in there. And next thing you know, first they're the drummer, now they're on a keyboard, and now that they're doing it all. And the next thing you know, they're in love with it. Like they're so involved that prying them out of that will probably break their heart. But if they've learned something that takes them out of that element the hard way, it's going to be even more traumatic. So if you can also, as a parent, be involved when you see them, how interested they are in the arts, I would suggest that you become business savvy or meet people purposely, intentionally, that you have a good idea of discernment that they can be beacons for that Pisces child to guide them in the correct way. What else? As a mom, right? As mothers of Pisces children, all you have to do is be a mom. Like, I know that sounds kind of fucking weird and shit, right? But what I'm saying is, all you got to do is do the nurturing part, and your Pisces children will figure out. They'll do the rest, but they'll actually figure out how to do the rest more simpler than it is to experience some type of disconnect in that area. Now, I know a lot of y'all mothers are watching this, and you'll say, "Duh, like supposed to be a mother." Now, listen, it's just not like that all the time. You know what I'm saying? There are true stories out there where children do not have those types of mothers. You know what I'm saying? And this can range from the neglectful mother because of personal abuse. You know what I'm saying? Abusing themselves or being harmful to themselves. This can range from that type of mom to the mom that is so involved in their career life, which can also be found in astrology, that they just don't have the proper time to nourish that child. You understand what I'm talking about? So it's both sides of the spectrum too, and everywhere in between. But if you can nurture your child, and I don't mean smother your child, Cancers. I mean, if you can nurture your child with the basics, that is food, clothing, and shelter. Like if you can wash a pair of pants because they need it by this Friday and they have to have those pants, like that small little thing to help them go to picture day or something, like that small little thing right there will give your Pisces child so much confidence to go through the world. It's like the hugest thing ever, because it's part of like the Cancer archetype. It's part of the Cancer mechanism of where your Pisces child is born in water inside the stomach. Cancer rules the stomach. So, they get their nurturing, they get their value, they get their pre-destiny inside of the Cancer element. You understand what I'm saying? So that whole umbilical cord thing, feeding the soul, nourishing the soul, is something that's very essential in the continuum of a Pisces child's life. You get what I'm saying? It's totally different from fathers, and this is another thing I want to say about so the basic meals at home and stuff like that. I basically covered that. There's another thing about fathers, all of the trying to play both roles thing. That's not going to really gel well with your Pisces children. It may work for a while because there's no other alternative, but to force that mentality or that logic on your Pisces child, you can find that backfiring on you later on in life. because they'll figure it out. They'll piece it together. They'll understand what a male's role is, and they'll understand what a woman's role is. There is a distinction, despite how thin it may be these days. There's still a distinction, and your Pisces child is going to respect their father just for being a father. Like they don't have to do the mothering and nurturing, or should I say, yeah, not mothering, but the nurturing part of life. And your Pisces child will still love their father, still care for. They're gonna at least respect their father. You know what I mean? Love is it's a touchy word, but they'll still at least respect their father if their father is doing 10th house activities. And if they find out that their father is doing 10th house activities and you as a mother are like making it seem like it's something else, whether it's emotionally involved, if there's something bitter type thing involved, or it's more about his new girlfriend or whatever the case may be, they're gonna piece that together and they're gonna be looking at you like you're doing the most now. They're gonna be like, okay, you're being extra now. Like cut it out. Like, you know what I mean? Because they're doing the father when as long as the man is doing some 10th house stuff, all that's not gonna matter. It's not gonna change your Pisces child's mind about the respect level for their father. Um, what else? It can confuse them though. So don't get me twisted. They will or they may along the line show some type of resentment because they'll be confused. A Pisces child can definitely get confused and they'll just be like, their feelings will get involved. It gets subjective. And it's just like anyone with the absence of someone around, you can tell that person stuff about another person and they'll believe it. They have no other alternative because that person's not around. You know what I mean? So the whole two sides to every story, that Pisces child can grow up with only one side of the story and can be damaged by the confusing part. You know what I mean? And should it be fixed when they grow older? That's a different story. But you got to think about what part you'll play in that equation. Should it be fixed later on in life? And then they have to reflect back on you as a mom and say, well, you could have said X, Y, and Z. You could have told me about that. Or you only told me about that. You know what I mean? But they'll definitely piece it together. They won't be confused forever. Um, Let me see what else. Okay, look for your Pisces child moon, your Pisces child's moon. Where is your Pisces child's moon in their chart? All right. The reason we want to do this is because there may be a signifier of the grandparents in their moon. So your parents as a parent, whatever sign your parents were, your Pisces child might have that moon, might have their sun, your parents' sun sign, might have them as a moon. And if this is the case, this can suggest mystery. There might be something mysterious, a secret or secrets that lie inside of your Pisces child that pertains to the ancestors. So it's kind of like a continuum of what was pre you that was passed down, but would not be actualized or realized until you decided to have their grandchild. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what it means to you. Like, I can't truly tell you at this point what it means. Should this be the case? Should their moon be one of your parents' sun signs? But you will figure it out. You can figure it out. It's something that you can look into, and you might come up with the hints and the mysteries and stuff like that. And if your Pisces child may do something or behave in a particular way or say things that makes you think of your parents, and it's for a reason, you got to connect the dots, you got to put it together. And perhaps your Pisces child can do that for you. Should you not feel inferior, like this is nothing to feel inferior about, like as if your child knows more than you. you're my Mac. Yeah, all right. So where was I? It's not that they know, if they know something that you don't know. This is kind of like the reason or the purpose, partially, of having children. You know what I'm saying? This is also part of the whole mystery thing that we've been on. That's all part of Pisces mystery anyway. The things that are secret. You know what I'm saying? They're beneath the surface. You got to figure it out. It could be fun. It could be like National Treasure. You know what I'm saying? Depends on how you look at it. Don't let it scare you though. You know what I'm saying? Now there can be indicators that might warn you though. You know what I mean? Perhaps about a parent's behavior or something that parents did that only you know. Your child may not know because they were either too young to remember or they wasn't even born yet. But these are the types of things that you remember, and you're like, okay, I got to protect my child from this, or I got to guide my child from this, or, something along those lines. And the last thing that I want to leave y'all with is a tip. This is a tip, right? You can do a derivative reading on your child. Now, this is a tip that you can do to eavesdrop on your child in their life. So let me give you an example about what I mean. You can look at your child's natal chart, right? No, matter of fact, not your child's natal chart. You can look at your natal chart, excuse me, and go to your first house, right? Where your ascendant is. And let's say you want to know about your child's friends. You want to know what type of friends your child is hanging out with or is on the journey of hanging out with, or the types of friends that your child is going to have in life. You can eavesdrop this and look into your child's future and figure this out. Or you may have those types of Pisces children that are, out there being secretive and stuff like that. And you just don't know their friends like that, but you want to know what's behind the scenes of what they're not telling you. All you see is basketballs and baseballs, or, volleyballs, whatever it is, right? But something else going on. This is what you could do. Go to your first house, your ascendant, and you count 5 houses over. The 5th house is your child, right? So when you get to the 5th house, but you got to count your house as the first house. Make sure you do this correctly. Don't do this wrong. So let me guide you through it. Let's say you have I'll use myself so we don't get confused. Let's say you got a Virgo ascendant, right? You go Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. Did I do that right? Virgo, hold on, y'all. Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. Right. So you go to the 5th house. Now, for you, those of you like, okay, I don't want to confuse you, right? Let's say you got a Virgo ascendant, but your 5th house falls in Aquarius. What I'm saying is, wherever the 5th house cusp is in your natal chart, right? That's the better way to say it. Wherever the 5th house cusp is on your natal chart, wherever that falls, that's your 5th house. Now, that represents your child. Okay. Now, what you want to do when you get there is you want to start a new countdown, and you want to start on that 5th house, but you count it as your first. So from there, you go and you count 11 houses over. So if you go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you go back to 1, 2, and then the 3rd house would be, the 3rd house cusp will be your child's friends. All right. These are the type of friends that your child is going to be connected with, more in tune with, and more susceptible, I guess you could say, or just more have more of an opportunity to engage with, to interact with. These are going to be the types of friends that your child is going to hang with. And you want to look at the ruler of that house, a ruler of that sign, the ruler of the sign. You want to know where that's at. You want to know whatever aspect that planet makes, identify that aspect, and then will further determine the type of ego, a type of drive, a type of interest that these friends have. You also want to look at the ruler of the sign, right? I said that. And the ruler of the house. No, any planet that's there, excuse me. I just got to make sure I have this right. Got to have this information right. You also look at any planet that is there. So if there's any planet inside of that 3rd house, you want to look into that too and identify what that planet inside of that sign means, what planet that planet is aspecting as well. All right. And this will give you further information into what their egos and what their drives and what their interests are as well. So I'm going to leave you with that for your Pisces children. Of course, there are other ways that you can eavesdrop and do derivative readings as well into your child's life. But that's just definitely one that I know a lot of parents are concerned with. And well, who are my child's friends? Like, I don't really know them. I want to know them. And you know how your friends could be like, oh, come on, mom. Like, come on. Like, be cool. Stop being all in our business and stuff or whatever the case may be. And you just might be like, you know what? I need to know. So now you can know without them knowing that you know. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. And y'all get in the comment section. Y'all let me know what's going on with y'all, how y'all feel about it. And I'll be here later.